excited about the growth that's happening in our area of advocacy. And I think everyone in this room is going to be just as excited as we are once you hear some of the things that we get to share with you today. As Elizabeth mentioned, we like to think of advocacy as the living room of our house. It's where we greet guests. This is where we connect over common interests. It's also where we have, those healthy debates once in a while. But in the end, it's the interests of our realtors, our clients, and our communities that we represent that is always top of our minds as we are in our living room. One of the most important services that NAR provides to our members is political advocacy. It impacts our ability to do business and our bottom line. So let me say that one more time. To every GAD in the room, every government affairs director, every CEO, every AE of a local or a state association, every volunteer who attends a city council or a county commissioner meeting or even at our state houses, thank you for what you do. Because we do business every single day because of the work that's done behind the scenes sometimes. We've also been busy this year working on key other realtor issues, and these are the big ones. So on a national level, the GSE reform, and let me explain what that is. That's where we get to have a 30-year mortgage for our clients for them to be able to purchase homes. And we're going to watch that, and we're going to be the leader in that conversation. We already are. We're talking about health care. We're talking about fair housing for all. We're talking about flood insurance and other natural disasters insurance to make sure that we're able to be covered. Just to name a few, by the way. So this year, we marked 50 years of RPAC. If you don't recognize that whoop whoop, yeah, it was Kitty Wallace right there. I heard. We want to thank everyone who helped us to celebrate this, and especially want to thank all of you for your continued support of RPAC and our Realtor Party. In its first year, RPAC had 300 investors, and we raised about $28,000, which isn't bad for a first year out.
It's a good year.
Good year. But since then, we've grown to more than 400,000 investors, investing more than $9 million on the federal level and $36 million across all 3 levels of our association. That's huge. Together with RPAC, realtors are a force to be reckoned with on Capitol Hill and in our state houses and our city halls all across the country. Also, for those of you who attended our legislative meetings in May, you got to see the unveiling of our 50th anniversary art piece that was drawn by Phil Hansen. And we are thrilled to tell you that that art piece now is proudly displayed in our Chicago headquarters, so we can always remember this milestone in our RPAC's history. Thank you. And for those of you who are one of those 10,000 investors from 2018, go and find your name on that art piece. We are so excited, and we are looking forward to the next 50 years of RPAC and our continued success.
Thanks, Tracy, and a round of applause for Tracy as our Vice President of Advocacy this year. I was at the 50th anniversary, and it was a great night, Tracy, and I remember the celebration and the power of who we are. And it highlighted the many years that RPAC and our lobbying efforts have been effective in elevating the issues for us as realtors on all levels of government. We want to continue to be effective. After all, a polarized government means we must continue to heighten our advocacy work to deal with vital legislative issues that keep coming our way. And because of that, we've made changes last year to reconfigure our lobbying resources to interact more proactively on crucial issues with state and local realtor associations, members of Congress, key committees, and most relevant to the real estate industry. We've hired our new chief lobbyist, Shannon McGann, and I know Shannon is out there somewhere. If she could just stand up so you all can see Shannon. Shannon has led those efforts for us in Washington, D.C., and we appreciate everything that you've done. We've assembled a world-class advocacy operation that includes well-connected outside experts to deepen our bench and further amplify our members' voices. At the same time, our internal team is truly one of the best in class in Washington, D.C. and across the country, solely focused on developing the right relationships across the executive and legislative branches of government. We're also fortunate to have the support of one of the most effective, enthusiastic Realtor Party traveling team of speakers that I've ever seen. They've traveled 49 states and territories in 2019 and led a tremendous effort. If any of you are in the room, please stand up and be recognized. Thank you for all you've done. Our members are engaging in significant ways, and last year testified on Capitol Hill on very key issues like data privacy, flood insurance, and GSE reform. They are busy and accomplished, and I think the Realtor Party traveling team deserves another round of applause for everything that they've done this year. On behalf of all of us, thank you.
So Charlie, you're exactly right. And one of the ways that we saw the effectiveness of our combined advocacy team is the recent success of the FHA condo rule. And I do have to say, because I know many of you have heard that after nearly a decade-long battle, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, recently finalized new FHA condominium loan policies. Now I will tell you, this has been something we've worked on for 10 years. But if it were not for the relationships that we have, and those are internal and those are long-standing, but Joe Ventrone and Shannon McGann and your team, we have to say thank you, because we know it would be still sitting on a desk at HUD had you guys not really championed this year and got it right out the door. By the way, that new rule went into effect, yes, October 15th. Thank you. Huge. We expect that they will yield thousands of new homeownership opportunities and help alleviate those affordability restraints that are impacting our markets across the country. In fact, our estimates show that the new rule could net upwards of 50,000 new FHA-approved condominium units a year. So thank you again to that team.
We've had some significant wins over the last year, and most importantly, we did it together. We've shown that our joint efforts are an effective combination, and I have no doubt the possibilities for this advocacy team are endless. In other words, the living room is move-in ready. And now let's welcome Brian Copeland to share what's going on in two other key issues, two areas.